Hey everyone, welcome back to the Model Factory. So I wanted to make a tutorial video and show you guys how I make my own decals. I've had a few of you ask me after I made my London bus, and as you know I made a lot of the decals for that myself and printed them here at home. And I have done so also on the Thunderbird that I've been working on with like my nitrous and air bottles and some of the different controllers and things like that. I've printed my own decals on those as well. So here we go. One thing that you can use, and I know there's probably some other options out there, but this is what I've been using, is the Tester's decal method, if you want to call it that. And I'm doing these mainly because you can get these at Hobby Lobby. I know that there is some larger sheets of decal paper out there. I do have some, but I don't know where it came from as it was given to me. So I'm just going to show you what I know you can get and where you can get it. Hobby Lobby sells these half sheets. They're 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and they sell two different types. There is the white decal paper, and then there is also just the regular decal paper, which is your clear decal paper. Purpose for these is, for your clear decal paper, it's if you want to put a decal on there and you want it obviously to be see-through. So if you're going to put like black words on a light colored model, then your clear decal paper would be for that. So that you can just have the word show up and then the color of the paint of the model would then show through. Now if you want to do something like a label, or you want to have something that's got the color white in it, or anything like that, then you're going to have to use this white decal paper. It is not see-through, it's just white, just like a regular sheet of paper, and that allows you to print on it. These are both just for your inkjet home printers. And so it allows you to print on it and all of the colors stay true and bright. If you try to print color on this transparent clear paper, it's not going to show it very well because when your ink of your inkjet printer lays onto the paper, it kind of has a see-through quality. An inkjet printer actually uses the white of the paper to help make the colors. So when you print on clear, there is no white in the background to help make those colors pop. If you've ever printed on like a clear transparency, I know we don't really use those very much anymore, but if you've ever printed on one of those, you'd understand what I'm talking about. The colors are kind of see-through and they're not solid. So that's kind of your differences on the two different papers you can buy. They're pretty reasonably priced, and then of course, as most of you know, you can get the 40% off coupon at Hobby Lobby to help bring the price down on these. Also, you're going to want to get some of this decal bonder. This is sold at Hobby Lobby as well. And what this is for is after you print your decals on your paper, you're going to let them dry, and then you're going to spray it with this decal bonder, just a few light coats onto it. And this is going to put like a clear coat over the ink because ink from an inkjet printer can run when it gets wet and smear. So if you don't have some kind of coating over it, like this decal bonder, then when you go to wet your decal to apply it, the ink is just going to smear and run off of it. So this bonder keeps your ink bonded to the paper so that you're able to get it wet and use it. These are what the sheets look like after they come out. And so you can see that I try to print a whole sheet of just various decals. If I'm using a certain decal, I just print a whole bunch of them because you never know, I might be able to use them for future projects. And so I just take these sheets and I store them away and save them, for future stuff. So I've got a whole book full of decals, some just extras from models, and then the rest are just all that I've printed. That I may not use for 2 or 3 years, but hey, I've got them when I need them. But yeah, that's all the supplies you're going to need to start printing your own decals. Of course, when you have something that you want to make, like say for example a nitrous bottle or something like that, if you don't have some decals already from something else that you can scan in and use, then you're going to have to go and find those decals online. So you're just going to want to do a search for like nitrous bottle labels, or if you're wanting to put a logo, say you want to get the logo from some company that makes a part for a car and you want to put that on there, then you're going to go online and look for that logo and save it to your computer. Save all of these images to your computer, and then you'll be able to take those and print them on this decal paper. Alright, so the first thing you want to do before you begin making your decals is you're going to want to make sure that you find out what the measurement is for the size that the decal needs to be. So, for example, I will just show you this here. Say you wanted to put a decal on the back of this model here. You wanted to put one on top of the wheel well, just for example. I've got a small little ruler here that I use, and so I measure, you'll measure that spot right there, just see what it looks like. We're at, if you wanted to go all the way across, you would be right at about 1/2 inch. And so then you're going to take that measurement and you're going to apply that into your program that you use to lay your decals out. And I'll show you guys that here in a few minutes. But by measuring first, you're going to make sure that you get your decals printed, right the first time. You definitely don't want to waste your decal paper. You don't want to print out a decal and then only to find out that it's too big or too small, and you got to go back and do it again, and then that one's still not the right size, and you have to, it just makes it a lengthy, no fun process. So you definitely want to make sure that you're measuring your area that your decal is going to go in first. So I'm going to take you over to my computer really quick and show you what program I use to lay the decals out for printing.
So the program I use is Adobe Photoshop. Now, if you don't have access to this program, then there are various other programs that you can purchase or get for free, or that your computer might come with, that will allow you to do the same thing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up a new document and set that at your 5.5 by 8.5 paper size, and then you'll be able to make sure that you're getting the right printed area. Now, Photoshop has these great rulers on the left and top of the screen. If you have that option in your program, definitely use it. This will help you to be able to get your measurements right from what you measured for where your decal needs to go. Now, also, Photoshop will let you pull these cool little guidelines out of the rulers, and you can use those to set at different points on your document based off of the ruler, so you can make sure that you're going to get your decals placed on there at the correct size. Just helps you out a little bit. I'm going to zoom this in and show you. So you can see there I've got my guidelines pulled out to my points on the ruler, so if it needs to be 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, whatever it may be, you can use those to set those points, and then when you place your logos or whatever it is you're going to print as your decal, you can place it right in between those two lines and know that you're going to get it exactly at the length it needs to be. And then of course I put out a few various ones on there. And you're ready to go. That's really as simple as it is. You can print it. Make sure you follow the guideline from printing that will be on the paperwork that comes with your decal paper that you buy, and it'll tell you what settings to set your printer at to make sure it prints on there right.
Okay, so after you have your decal printed out, like I said, you're going to want to let your decal dry for a little bit, and then you're going to want to put that decal bonder on there. I typically like to let my decals dry, let the decal bonder dry for, I've done it at least a half a day before and they've turned out okay. But preferably you want to give it a good 24-hour dry period, just like you would with any clear coat, before you really try to do anything with it. This stuff dries pretty quickly, so 24 hours should give you enough time to be able to start working with your decals. This is the decal sheet that I just did on the printer for you. As you can see, I have cut out a few of the decals from it already. One thing that's nice about this, is like if I want to, I can just cut this off, and then when I go in and I make a new document, I would just make it to the size of that paper, and you can still use this even though I've only used the corner of it. Your decals, though, they will apply like your normal, wet slide decal that you get inside of your models. One thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to trim your decals out as close as you possibly can to the decal itself, especially when you're using this white paper. Because if you leave any of the white around the decal, when you put that in the water and you slide it off, that white is still going to be there. Your decals that come with your model kits usually are kind of, I don't know how they do it to be honest, but they're kind of pre-cut already, so you can just sort of trim around it, and then when you slide the decal off, only the area of the decal slides off. That's not so with these decal papers. So if you cut a big square out of it, like right here, and your decal's only in the center of it, well, that whole entire square is going to slide off the paper. So make sure you cut as close as you can around the decal, which I have done here. And then really the rest of it is just like you would do with any other decal. You know, you put it in your water and you slide it off. If you want to use some kind of setting solution or something like that, you can. These decals do work with the microsol and microset setting solutions. I've used them with that. It doesn't affect them in any way or anything. So they're able to be used with all of that. I will say you want to be careful not to over soak them, just because since they are printed, they still can be affected a little bit by the water, so you don't want to over soak them. If you do it, just dip it in the water for, maybe 10 seconds or so, and then pull it out and sit it down, and then let the water loosen the decal up. That's going to be your best option with these decals, which is typically the way you should be doing your decals, anyways. Um, just as a disclaimer, guys, you have to take into account these are decals that are printed off of an inkjet printer. You're gonna get inkjet printer quality. You cannot expect these to look as good as you would getting decals from the kits, or getting them from an actual decal maker. They have special printers that they use, which allow them to print white and to print all those different colors and everything at a very high quality. So, do keep in mind that these look pretty good, and for a model from something being viewed from a distance and kind of small, they're going to look fantastic. They're going to look great. As you can see on my stuff that I've used them on, it looks really good. But I just want to pre-warn you, don't be disappointed if you print these out and you can tell they're not as high a quality as the stuff you get out of the kits. They're not going to be there, only because they're printed on an inkjet printer, and it cannot reach that quality level. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really do to make my own decals. It's that simple. There's really not much to it, and you can have all kinds of options that you can do, and you can go from there. So, just keep watching, everybody. Stay tuned. I'm going to try and do a few more tutorial videos, let you guys see what we've got going on. And like I always say, eat, sleep, styrene, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.